So I was connecting with the Arcturians and asking them about conflict. When we feel conflicted, how do we know what the best choice is? And so, what they guided me to do was to go into my emotions and to ask myself what felt right. So, for instance, they asked me to make a choice between what to eat for dinner, and which was not what I was asking about originally, but they said, "Hey, let's try this out. What are you in for dinner?" So I had a choice between several options. I am on a cleanse, so I'm only eating like fruits and vegetables. So um, with some brown rice. So I could have curry, I could have spaghetti squash, or baked vegetables. Okay. And so I went internally. I asked myself, just what felt right, and spaghetti squash won. I don't know why. I started to ask why, and get into my rational, logical mind. And they just simply said it's the most nutritional for you in the moment. So they were really emphasizing the moment, and to not ask ourselves so much why, but to trust in the moment. What might be the choice in the moment may not be the choice from the past, or may not be the choice in the future, but it is right for you right now. And so we need to go into our emotions. And I asked, is this our intuition? And they said, yes, this is your intuition. And also, what they wanted to emphasize was that we can do this every moment of our lives, from one moment to the next moment, just going with the flow. And we go through life, thinking so much, questioning how is this going to turn out, over analyzing. And they're asking us not to do that. And I know how hard that can be. um, and so that's what they're telling us to do. This reminded me of a video by Teal Swan. I do feel conflicted about Teal Swan. I love her, but yet I question. But this did resonate with me, where she did say, ask yourself, what is the most loving thing you can do? What would somebody who loves themselves do? And so that's another thing that we can go off of. What would love do? In Conversations with God, they did talk about that as well. What was somebody who loves? What would they do out of love? And so that is another way to go about this. But they were emphasizing going into our heart space, going into our emotions, and asking ourselves what feels good, what feels the best. And I really, I guess I complicate things, because I'm like, well, whatever feels good, maybe that's not always the right choice, and things like that. And they said, don't overcomplicate it, just what feels good, what feels the best, what makes you happy now, makes you happy now. The moment is important. This moment will lead to the next. So I do want to channel just a little bit more about this, and see if they have any more to say, because I gotta say, so many people, me included, it's hard to know what to do, especially when we have multiple options and we don't know how the future is going to turn out, right? And multiple options seem good. How do we know what to do? How do we know what to do all the time? Okay, so I'm gonna go in, and I think I plan on this only being a few minutes. We will see. They like to talk. All right. This is a question we get often. It is of much import for you. Today, you must ask yourself what feels best. Not what you think is best, but what feels best. If you are unsure what feels best, ask yourself, how do I feel? Without making a choice, how do you feel? Once you know how you feel in the moment, you can ask yourself how you will feel in the next moment. So simply ask yourself, if I do this thing, what will happen? Maybe you are unsure. And if you are unsure, this is a time to create how you will feel in that moment when you do that thing. It is a moment of choice, for we may have multiple choices that seem like the best options. We may not know because they may all be the best option, but yet we must choose. Choice is very important in the third dimension. Choice is important in the fifth dimension. There are several dimensions where it is not important, but it is important for you. So, once you have made a choice, for you must make a choice, you must ask yourself, what if I do all these things? Maybe that is a choice. Maybe I could, but in each moment, you can only do several things at one time. You may be able to multitask, but there is nothing available to you that is multidimensional at this point in time. You cannot do multiple things at the same time unless you are, yet again, in the fifth dimension, which is possible, possibly. So it is time to ask yourself, what makes you the person that you want to be? What is the reflection of who you choose to be? This is the answer. And if you do not know, that is okay. Ask yourself to know. Choose to know, for that is a choice. Ask to know. Ask, 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 for we will give it, but you must ask. And that is our answer. All right, all right. That was very helpful. that really makes more sense now to me. So I hope it makes more sense to you as well. So that is the message we have here from the Arcturians.